Hi Crunchy Life! Hope everyone's doing good. Doing my video today on obviously vaccinations, and when you're getting vaccinations, what are some of the things that you should be looking into or considering when you're at that time. So for me, as you guys know, I have a 3-month-old, 3.5-month, almost 4-month-old baby girl, and it's been vaccine time now. I'm currently I guess you'd consider me delayed because I haven't fully completed my research and really made a true decision as to whether I do or don't want to vaccinate. I'm feeling like I am going to get a few vaccinations, and I'll tell you why. But first off, so they tried to give her a vaccine at 2 weeks, which I think is ridiculous, and the 2-week vaccination is the hepatitis B, Hep B vax. And that didn't feel right for me personally, just because she's so young, and I know that she's just so young and delicate, and I didn't want to expose her to that right away. And second, it's for hepatitis B. Not only, I think it's Dr. Oz, maybe it was Dr. Sears, but he was talking about that vaccine. I watched a video, and he's saying, well, and I completely agree with him in the sense that it's like, okay, well, what is the likelihood that your child is going to be exposed to the hepatitis B virus? It comes from blood, so if she's in like a blood accident, if there's like a blood accident around her where she could be exposed to that, which is highly unlikely, but not impossible, I'm going to say. Or the other known way is through sexual activity, which obviously she's not going to get it that way. Or another way, it could be contracted from the mother during birth if the mother is infected. So basically, that's one that can be put off until she becomes of a sexual, where she becomes sexually active and might become exposed to that, and also where she's big enough where she can make that decision herself, And then, for me, Zeta, my daughter's 2-month vaccinations came and went, and I didn't do that either, only because, again, I feel like she's too young, and I really want to make an informed decision when I do that. I would hate, and this is just coming from me personally, but I would hate to go and get her these vaccinations, knowing that, there was another option, but not having been fully educated, and then have her have some horrible reaction. I would never forgive myself, I would feel terrible. So, that's basically how I feel about it. So, the 2-month, the baby's home with me. She's, not really around people. She's not out in weird environments. So, that's, just not something that I really feel like I need to do for her right now. As she gets bigger and, we can reevaluate that. Now, some of the vaccines I think are important. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to give her measles, mumps, and rubella. People still get the mumps, people still get the measles, and that could potentially kill my child. So, I think that's an important one. But ones that I think can be avoided, and I think another one of my moms here on the Crunchy Life, it was Shelly. She said, things like the HPV vaccine. I'm not going to get her that. That's not really important. The chickenpox vaccine, I'm not going to get her that either, because that's something that she can contract and develop immunities through the natural way, you know what I mean? So, I obviously know that's not going to be fatal, so let nature kind of do its thing. I got the chickenpox. Chickenpox happens once. It's not that big of a deal. What else? Flu shots. Flu shots are not that important. And again, Shelly mentioned this one, as a lot of times people get the flu shot and then they still get a severe case of the flu because it was a different strain. You know what I mean? So it's not immunity against the flu, and there's really, it doesn't weigh out, for that. So what's another one? Yeah, so basically, you just I can't think of any off the top of my head. But basically, just do your research and think about which ones are applicable to right now, and which ones are, important in general. Like I said, the chickenpox vaccine. I'm okay with her getting the chicken pox. I know it's not going to kill her. I'm not going to vaccinate her for that. I mean, the least amount of these toxins and these weird things happening that you can... I just lost my train of thought. However many of these major things you can avoid exposing her to, the better. You know, I mean, they are made with all kinds of heavy, like mercuries in some of them. Like, you don't want to just go liberally throwing that to your child. Also, if I'm going to get her vaccines, I'm not going to bombard her with many at once. You know what I mean? We're going to space them out. We're going to give her body a chance to take in as many things as possible. And they are starting to group them together now quite a bit. Like I said, the measles, mumps, and rubella, that's one vaccine. So, you know, and that's just kind of how I feel about it. That's where I'm at. I'm not fully no-vax. I mean, as of right now, I'm definitely delayed just until I feel like she gets a little bigger. She's getting plenty of immunities from me. I'm breastfeeding her, you know, so yeah. And let me see, can I think of anything real quick to say off the top of my head about what to look for? I think I said it. You know, really just be looking for what applies, and, you know, if you feel like there are some that are important and some that aren't, then, you know, definitely know that you don't have to do all of them. You can space them out as long as you want. You can wait until she's big enough to understand what you're doing and let her have the choice too, you know. So that's what I got on it. I hope, like I said, everyone's doing great and had a wonderful Labor Day. I know I sure did. And we'll see you next week.